Doctors, have you ever wondered what they're talking about when they say paper piecing? Well, I'm Georgia with Creative Moments by G, and I'm going to show you what that means with our card that we make today. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Here is a card that we use the paper piecing on. See, we cut her outfit out of a different DSP and we just pieced it on top of the stamp set. So let's go ahead and create another card today. It is so pretty, and make sure you stay with us to the end because we have 2 more cards to show you. First, you're going to need to get just a base card, and our base card that we're going to use today is going to be a landscape card. We've also cut out some mats to glue down to the top of our card. But first, let's look at the blends we'll be using. We're going to use dark and light Bermuda Bay. We will be using light pale papaya. And finally, we're going to be using light cherry cobbler. We'll also be using cherry cobbler as our ink, as well as memento. So let's get this mat laid down to the top of our card. The next thing we want to do, we're just going to go ahead and set this up before we start on our paper piecing. And remember, all the measurements will be listed over on creativemomentsbyg.com. You can head over there and just click on my blog. Please remember to take just a moment and subscribe and share our channel, and we sure would love a like. So we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to stamp our sentiment because this is going to be a happy birthday card. We're going to stamp it in cherry cobbler, and you'll understand why we're going to do this first in just a moment. So let's get that stamped. And let's get that cut out. And here we have it. We are going to lay that down first on our paper because we are dividing our paper. We want to make sure that we have enough room for this. So let's go ahead and put it on some dimensionals. Take the backing off. And we're just going to line it right here in the bottom left-hand corner. Now the next thing, we've cut our panels and we're going to have a couple mats. We have our black mat and then we're going to bring in our cherry cobbler. So let's go ahead and lay this down. There is no border on the top and the bottom, just on the side. Now, remember I told you we needed to lay down the sentiment first because we want to line this up very close to that sentiment. And we're just going to lay this down on our card. Okay, isn't that taking shape? And now we are ready to go ahead and start with the process for our paper piecing. So let's lay that to the side. You're going to take a circle, and we have selected this adorable little girl who's reading a book and has a dog with her. So go ahead and stamp that in memento ink, making sure that you get it everywhere. Nice and dark. And just stamp it right in the middle of your circle. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp it again on our whatever DSP that you want to use for the blanket and the pillow. And we have selected this beautiful red dot DSP. So we simply stamped it and we cut out the pieces that we needed for the paper piecing. So we're only going to work with the blanket and the pillow. So let's go ahead and line this up with this pillow right here. And we're going to just get some glue on it. Not very much. And just line it up and piece it over the area. Look how cute that is. So fast. And I know some of you may not like to fussy cut, but it is so fast to do this. And it allows you to use any of the DSP that you have. Now the next one that we're going to piece over is right here. This is right around her hand and the little doggy. So we went ahead and we cut that out. And now let's just lay that down with some adhesive. You don't need very much. And make sure that you don't cover up her hand. And there we have it. Next, we cut the blanket right here, so we're going to just add that down. And why use paper piecing? Because it is really fast. And like I said, it gives you so many possibilities in terms of any DSP that you have. You can cut into the blanket and the pillow or the pants, and stick with us because we are going to show you some other paper piecing that we used for a different stamp that is so pretty. Now we also cut out her pants because we wanted to use that Night of Navy, and actually our Night of Navy blend is not working, so this worked out perfectly. So just put that right over her pants. And now we're going to bring in our cherry cobbler, and we're going to color her socks and this extra pillow right over here. Now we're also going to color this little mug right here that you can't really see. And now we need to color the dog. Okay, we're going to bring in the flesh colored blend so that we can color her hand and go ahead and color her face. And then finally, all we have left is this additional blanket right here that we're going to bring in our Bermuda Bay. And we're going to color the book in the same color. And there we have used the paper piecing to color her pants with the cardstock and her blanket and her pillow with some DSP. Now let's get this added to the top of our card. Now we are simply going to take another black circle and we are going to add dimensionals to the back of the top circle. Now we're going to bring it into the front of our card and just add this again with some dimensionals. We need to add the inside mat to our card, but first we're going to stamp it with the other stamp set, and it says, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. And we'll go ahead and stamp that in cherry cobbler. Make sure that you turn your paper landscape because this is a landscape card. And then we have one more thing to create that just really makes it all that more special. Now we're going to take one of our envelopes and we are simply going to lay some DSP on this flap. And all we have to do is turn this over, put some glue on our flap, and then we just line that up and press it down on your flap. This is so easy to do and yet makes such a great statement. Now just turn it over, cut it off. And here we have our card. Isn't that beautiful? Now remember I told you we had some other cards to show you. Look at this beautiful card. We simply cut out a circle and we used some DSP so that she's staring at that beautiful scene. And all these are paper pieced right here. Now we have another one. Here's another one that we simply dry embossed a couple of the layers, but we paper pieced her dress. Look how cute that is. Finally, this other one that we showed you, once again, we simply use that DSP on the back to create that scene for her to be looking at. And on this one, we paper pieced her dress and her hat. You know, it's really kind of like playing with paper dolls, isn't it? Well, we hope you like this technique, paper piecing. It makes it so easy, and it really opens up all the possibilities because you have so many DSPs that you can use. Monty and I want to say Happy New Year! This is going to be a year filled with possibilities and blessings. Well, when you go out today, remember, be kind to yourself and others, be creative in your crafting, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.